Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 101. It's like 101 episode है ये 101st episode है ये. So we thank you everyone who's been supporting for the 100 episodes, and thank you Sunil for being our guest for this 101st episode. It's like the phase 2 or 2.0 of Wednesdays for Waste Warriors. um, you are really an amazing role model who's been practicing what we all need to see as a pilot somewhere. And the video that was featured on the Better India, so many people have watched that video, appreciated that video. So today is a very exciting moment then that they'll be meeting you and then talking to you, asking their questions. And you're also a climate reality leader, so there are a lot of common links, and I really appreciate you accepting the invitation. So welcome Sunil to Wednesdays for Waste Warriors.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
How would you introduce who's Sunil Mysore? Why is he doing what he's doing?
Well, see, I was passionate about environment from very beginning.
Mhm,
So it is not that I wanted to do this.
mhm,
This happened. You can say serendipity, or you can say it happened by stroke of luck or bad luck or whatever you want to call. Okay. So I'm a civil engineer by training. So as a part of our training, you also learn a lot of things about water, wastewater, environment and related stuff. And I was always passionate about environment in terms of, particularly in terms of water.
mhm,
So after my engineering, I was kind of wondering what to do.
mm,
Okay, so I did work for a few years at construction companies, structural engineering companies, and also environmental engineering companies. But somehow I thought, I should do something different and
mm,
something on my own. And that's how the entire journey started. Mostly because I also wanted, I kind of enjoyed flexibility. I also enjoyed being on my own. So that's the whole idea about why I chose to be on my own. But when it comes to environment, I used to work and I am still associated with few institutions. But I always found that what is lacking actually is the work on the ground. So there are many extremely good institutions doing a lot of good work in terms of knowledge dissemination, in terms of design, in terms of policy advocacy. But I did not find many institutions or engineering firms who are actually into implementing sound solutions on the ground.
mm.
What I mean is sustainable solutions on the ground. So that was a trigger. Like there is a lot of knowledge, lot of gnan around, but nothing much is to be seen on the ground. So that's how I started in terms of let me start implementing. Let me show that these things work.
Mm.
So one by one, I kept adding like these all, a genuine belief is lot of things are very simple. They're not complicated. They're not at all complicated. Many solutions that we think of, we talk of, or actually we envision are actually pretty simple to do.
Yeah.
But some of it has got intertwined in this jargon and this entire thing about climate change, sustainability. There's a lot of talk around it, and it's becoming fancified day by day. But the actual solutions are quite simple. So my idea was to actually implement and show the simplicity of solutions. So that's how I started, and I've been progressing. And the vision is actually to make things simple, responsible, and sustainable. That's the if you want to keep the story long story short, this is what I can tell.
Of course, responsibility is the key criteria to walk on the sustainable, lifestyle. So absolutely right. And you decided to make that lab or that pilot, uh, do it at home, uh, that space. How did you think of that? Not take any other place. Instead of that, you started doing everything at home. How did you come up with that?
See, I feel, and actually what I the grand vision is like things are simple. So we need a template, we need a use case, or we need a case study.
Yeah.
Okay, so what best, you walk the talk,
Yeah.
right? You start in your house and you live it every day, right? You're doing it every day. You are under the roof. You can say it's a lab at one place, but other places, like I am showing, like these are all possible things.
Exactly.
So what I keep writing is, decarbonization can start from decentralization, right? See, most of our carbon footprint is in the logistics.
Mhm.
Water per se doesn't have so much carbon footprint. The conveyance of water has
True.
more carbon footprint than the water itself. The energy doesn't have so much water carbon footprint. The conveyance of energy is hugely energy intensive.
Yeah.
So decentralization is the mantra, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I started, okay, what is the best, what do you say, model or theme, or what is the best case study for a decentralized system? Is
Mm.
your own house, is your own roof. So the
Exactly.
water comes from your rooftop, energy comes from your rooftop, your waste is treated on your rooftop. Like, you grow your own vegetables on the rooftop, and perhaps you treat your wastewater on the rooftop, or you recover the heat from the rooftop. So rooftop is as decentralized as it can get. So
Mm.
that was the whole idea. And this whole concept of permaculture on the roof is actually developing over the years. It is not that I started with this, with all this with this as one go. So we are adding gradually, and now I am trying to trying to make it as a template and say, okay, these are all possible stuff. Like, why we are actually chasing really grand and sophisticated terminologies when things can be done in a
Simple.
pretty decentralized, local, and simple way.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole idea of a roof. So I like to call it a sustenance roof.
Yeah.
So we are all living under the roof, but a lot of things can happen over the roof also.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like,
And it is the most underutilized space, right? And it gets very hot. A lot of your urban heat island effect is because of the roof.
yes. Yes.
Okay, and you manage your roof well, you make it green, you make it white, right? Your urban heat island effect is reduced to a great extent. And see, this whole issue of flash floods in Bangalore, flash floods in many of our metro cities is because of UHI,
Mm.
right? And UHI can be easily handled from your rooftops.
Yeah.
Singapore is showing the way. Why not Bangalore? Why not India?
Yeah. Many like it's happening in some places in Pune also. I'm in Pune, and it's happening in Bombay, like Mumbai also. But there are some people who have said this and who have argued about it, saying that if we do it on the terrace, there will be leaks, there'll be cracks, there'll be this, there'll be that. Just that's like they are carrying that myth or that fear. So, what would you say to that?
See, that is also one of the reasons why I did on my house. Right, it's a 50-year-old house.
Hmm.
Right, where I'm sitting now it's a 50-year-old house.
Hmm.
So 50-year-old house, I have 1,500 plants on the rooftop.
Hmm.
And it's raining every day very heavily in Bangalore. That's where your education, your whatever skill comes into picture, right?
Yes.
Like, if so we can go on ranting about the problems, but the solution is, that is you'll have to design a system in such a way that it is not touching the roof directly, or you plug the roofs properly. That's the detailing. Like, in engineering there are like two things we talk about: design and detail.
Hmm.
Right? So it's the detail. How you detail your work actually defines all this. So you need to be cognizant about it. It's no doubt there can be leaks, there can be extra load on the roof,
Yeah.
but that is where your education, your skill comes into picture, right? So you can definitely overcome that. Okay, so of course, you can't grow a tree on your rooftop. You can grow perhaps a dwarf plant or a dwarf tree or something like that. But you can plug the leaks. Leaks are not a big deal to plug, actually.
Mhm.
And most roofs are actually designed to take the load.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a very huge factor of safety when we design, when we construct, we add more factor of safety. So a load on the roof is not a big deal. One can actually take care of that. But yes, leaks on the roof is actually a concern.
Mhm.
But what I have found is, like, when I have a solar panel on the roof,
Mhm.
because I have so much plants on the roof,
Mhm.
the amount of water hitting the roof directly actually is reduced instead of increasing it.
Oh.
Though the frequency, so when you water the plants during summer, you
Mhm.
may get some runoff from the plants.
Mhm.
But heavy rain, the
Mhm.
amount of rain which actually would run off without the panels and the plants
Mhm.
is much more than what we have with all these things planted. like the tree plants and the panels. It's quite obvious, right? So we are covering most of the space.
Yeah.
So the amount of available space for the rain to hit actually is reduced. So
Yeah.
your leakage technically should actually come down.
That's that's a good point that they I can also use as a counter argument that please try and then let's see, or they can contact you, they can
See,
contact somebody
this
else.
is what I keep talking, right? Like, the problem with the solutions are like we all know, everybody appreciate the solution, everybody knows the solution, but we are still struggling to actually make it a very robust one, right? See, we say, okay, cut a valve here, cut a pipe here, leakage here, etc., etc. There is some inconvenience around these stuff. So when we are able to make the solutions very robust
Hmm.
and least inconvenient at the same time, very very user friendly,
Yeah.
so then that's how the movement can start. See,
Mhm.
currently the status of these solutions are, it's a very romanticized thing, like, it's good to do, oh, it's beautiful to do, it's so nice to do, that kind of an argument. See, nobody is talking about those things for an iPhone, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So we have to have our solutions as robust and as marketable like an iPhone.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we can't be having fancy ideas and romantic ideas about these things are good to do, right? So these things are robust and these things work on the ground. So that should be our actual vision. Then these solutions can actually pick up very easily.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. This entire green thing and all of that is very romanticized, very poetic to be sustainable. But once you get into that mindset that okay, I want to do it and I will do it and I will overcome whatever challenges I will face, then I think that everyone can make it happen.
See,
So
the second paradigm is about all these. There's a lot of, like, activism around this green and environment and climate change. Though it is required, I'm not debating that. But what we are actually not seeing is actually solutions on the ground. Like, it's very easy to make noise and you can get a lot of technicians to make noise,
mhm,
which is required. I'm not debating that. But what we are actually conspicuously missing
mhm,
is the solution. Now,
mhm,
if you have a problem, okay, fine. So what? Where's the solution? Who's giving you a solution? Now, people are making career out of actually writing about problems and shouting about problems. But what is the solution? Where is the solution? Who has to do the solution? You can't blame the government for everything, right?
yeah,
That's why I said, like, sustainability should start from responsibility. It can't be like, it's somebody else's job to do.
yeah.
It is equally yours.
Bilkul. I'm totally with you. That's why when you said I'm going to talk about responsibility and sustainability, it is a perfect combination. And it has to be like awakened and polished in everyone. So when you started this project, what was the first step you did? What was your first, what was the first piece that happened?
First piece is all first love water.
Okay.
Okay, so it's all started with water because I wanted to somehow demonstrate that water is not as uh, you know there's a lot of talk about water in Bangalore, and how unsustainable the practice of water consumption in Bangalore is.
Mhm.
So the entire thing started with water in the first place. Like, we have so much water. Like, every square feet of Bangalore can harvest about 80 liters of water per year.
Mhm.
Like, it's a great amount. Say a 100 square meters house can actually take about a lakh of liter of water per year. It's a plenty of water,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So 1 lakh liters is a lot of water.
Yeah.
So I started with water to just to show, like, this is good portable water right falling on your roof.
Yeah.
Instead of getting water from 130 kilometers away and 500 meters deep, and consuming so much energy and so much environmental footprint on this.
Yeah.
This water is just falling from 4 meters, and it's the same water, right? The
Yeah.
rainwater which falls in the catchment of Kabini or catchment of Madikeri is the same rainwater as falls on my roof.
Terrace,
Obviously,
exactly.
this is actually far more cleaner because it just flows by 3 meters.
Yeah.
So it is water, and what I keep saying is, technically, you shouldn't, at least a city like a Pune or Bangalore shouldn't have a water problem,
Yes.
because numerically Bangalore or Pune receives more water than what it consumes.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and if you treat wastewater, suppose if we have X amount of water requirement for the city, even one third of it is met by rainwater. The other 50% you treat your wastewater in your house or your institution or wherever. numerically, you should not have a water problem at all. So we have enough and more water. It is just about how we are not able to manage it properly.
Exactly, numerically, that's true. And we have so many experts, water harvesting experts. We have, lake, pond, river rejuvenation experts. We have, like, there's no dearth of expertise. But somewhere there is a hole in the bucket that things
It
are
is
not.
it is simple, madam. How many people are selling phones on the streets and how many people are giving rainwater harvesting solutions? I am
Exactly.
saying market has to drive this.
Yes. The
Right.
housing societies, where we have had many, many meetings for rainwater harvesting, they all turn around and say the same thing, that it's very expensive. It's very
Well,
expensive. So,
yeah, I think we should this costing and economics of environment and stuff can be a whole lecture by itself. Okay. But having said that, well, it's difficult, Suppose you don't have when you don't have water to flush down the drain,
yeah.
so you don't really think about water, right? I'll give you a simple example. I have a house in Mysore,
Hmm.
right? 2009 to 2017, we used to get water like once in 4 days. And
Hmm.
I stay in Bangalore in a pretty decent upmarket area here, where we get water every alternate day and in good pressure. So just because I am in Bangalore, I get water, which is like 130 kilometers from the river. And my other house in Mysore is just 17, 20 kilometers from the river. And I still get water only once in 5 days. So we are not talking about equity. True cost of water is not captured.
Yeah.
Point one. Point two is when I have no water. So they were actually telling, why are you investing so much money on building a sump and storing so much water? I said, I don't have water for 5 days in a week. What do you expect me to do? I
Yeah.
can't think of how much money I'm spending, right?
Yeah.
So I need water. If the water is not there at all, then actually I actually get more true value.
Yeah.
Now I can blame the government for not supplying water.
Yeah.
But what is my immediate solution? I have built a house and there's no water there.
Yeah.
So and every piped water supply has a huge cost which is not captured, not communicated.
Yeah.
For example, the city of Bangalore, for every 1,000 liters of water delivered to our household through taps, the government spends 91 rupees and they collect from us 8 rupees. So it is 90% subsidized. So
Mhm.
where is the true cost of water? Point one. Point two is, if you actually do a very rigorous economic analysis, it's not all that expensive. Actually, I have a detailed video, detailed description about cost of water vis-a-vis rainwater harvesting. I can share. You can perhaps have a look at it, but it is not all that expensive.
I will definitely share this video recording with all those chairpersons who always say that it's very expensive and we don't have the budgets to do that. I will
One
definitely.
is expensive. Second, say after a few years,
Yeah.
what if you don't have water? Are you really going to talk about cost at that time?
No, not at that time.
So it's better to be prepared, right?
Yes. And the number of,
See, now the whole problem with the urban folk is they are pampered, right? So you open the tap and the water comes and you really don't bother much about it, right? Where it goes, where it comes from, we don't know. You don't even bother to know,
exactly.
right? So the entire thing about, say, go to Gulbarga, go to just Pune, little north of Pune. There is a lot of water stress there,
Yeah.
right? So like, and you can't when you don't have water at all, then you will actually realize the true cost of water. Urban folk are actually pampered in one way by the government because they are giving you almost free water, almost 24 bar 7 water, which is not making you realize the actual problem.
The value. Yeah.
And what you are actually doing? See, when I take water in my place in Bangalore,
Mhm.
I am essentially stealing away the water which actually belongs to people in Kabini or Mysore.
Mhm.
And now the new Ethinola project of Karnataka, where we are trying to get water from Netravati, should actually belong to people in the catchment of Netravati, right? People of Mangalore, Udupi should enjoy that water instead of people in Bangalore and Ramnagar using that water.
Exactly.
If people who join from Bangalore, they will appreciate this. See, essentially, where is equity here?
Yeah.
It's
No.
all now everything has become economics, right? Like, I can steal anybody's water. After Netravati, I'll go to Sharavati. No, it just goes like that.
Equity is not, like you said, there is no equity. There is all about, who can pay and who can get it. So
But we pay the least, right? The urban folk pay the least amount of money.
even in Pune, like you said, the closest villages in around Pune, they receive water only once a week. And we have a few students who have their families have migrated from there, and they are like, we don't want to go to village to visit our families because what to do there? There's no water. Only once in a week on Sundays there's water, and we are not used to that kind of life anymore. It's a
Pipe
struggle.
water supply. This is the perils of pipe water supply.
Yes. So, yes, you said that the first one was rainwater harvesting, and the second one was, I guess, the solar or the garden.
Yeah, well, second one is actually garden
Okay.
because I was always saying this is a huge untapped area here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what to, we can grow so much.
Yeah.
I have tried everything, I tried to grow a lot of things. The roof leaked. We
Hmm.
had a lot of issue. My mother was behind me. And
Okay.
then we did a lot of circus. It initially failed. The entire garden thing initially failed because I did not know how to grow properly.
Mm-hmm.
Then the solar thing started, but then the beauty happened. Like I was thinking, why not grow plants below the solar panels?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what this is a technical term called agrivoltaics.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how it started. So the garden and the panels almost came together, but the idea was to grow the garden before the vegetables before.
Mm-hmm.
So then both got combined, and solar just went on spin off. Like I did an on-grid system, hybrid system, then the off-grid system, then I did a pumping system, then I did some heat recovery system. So it just went on. All very very basic 10th standard physics, nothing more than that.
Okay, that's good to know. So when, like you said, there were some failed experiments and the thing leaked and all that stuff. So how long did it take for you to kind of revisit and refigure out and all of that? How long did uh, that?
See, I gave up after the first experiment. First time I grew and the rainwater pipes choked with soil and the plants did not come off well. So it didn't go so well. I gave up for a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I was thinking like, if I don't solve it,
Mm-hmm.
then there is no point of my education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I revisited. It was solutions were very simple. It's just that how much time you could spend on that. It is just that how much time you could spend on that and how much effort you wanted to put in actually solving it and what is your motivation at the end of the day. That was not giving you bread and butter.
Yeah.
You are trying to do only for the for the experimentation sake of it. One.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is just at some point of time I was thinking this can be a business model, but it was not giving me any immediate returns.
Mm-hmm.
So solutions were quite simple. It was just that you have to put your mind into like detailing the solution. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So numerically, yes, it took about a year, but it was a pretty simple, simple solution actually to the end of the day. And like when you are trying to grow plants,
Mm-hmm.
that's a slightly different cup of tea. Like it's not technical. It's not like rainwater harvesting. Okay, I'll calculate the depth, the diameter of pipe and the thickness of pipe, or I will calculate what is the wind force on the solar panel, or I will calculate what should be the frame thickness, or what is the load, what should be the wire diameter.
Yeah.
They're all slightly technical and have numerical answers. But when you are growing plants, that actually you don't really have any standard way or the right way. You just learn from the way. That's all.
It's true.
You have to. That's why I say growing plants is actually you are dealing with another living being, right?
Yes.
So that's what more difficult. What kind of problems can come? What kind of solutions are there? And particularly, and you're growing not on the land. You're going in containers. So
Yeah.
there are other kinds of problems: nutrition deficiency,
Yeah.
pest attacks. So that you figure out like how to actually solve. Of course, there's a lot of literature available, but unless you do it yourself, it's
Yeah.
very difficult to actually know what is the right way to do. And there's no right way to do. You only keep fine tuning always.
Absolutely.
Okay, and you keep fine tuning. I think that's a lifelong process. There's no this is the way.
Yeah, it is a work in
And
process.
as I told you, there's no numerical answers for this. Like
Yeah.
how we do solar design or we do any kind of electrical design or plumbing design or anything. or wind load analysis. So we don't have any kind of numerical answers or numerical solutions.
Yeah.
You are just learning by doing it. That's all. And you have to go wrong to get it right.
Bilkul. That's true. So who was the gardener?
But that's a very fascinating journey by itself, right? You
Absolutely.
don't get that much kind of fun and satisfaction, putting up a solar panel than actually growing a jamun tree on your rooftop.
Absolutely. So who's the gardener? You or someone else in your
I
family?
am the Mali here.
Okay. So you started from ABC and learnt everything.
Yeah, it's all completely hands-on.
Okay, wonderful.
All completely hands-on, and you fail, you do, and you keep doing it. You keep reinventing the thing. That's all. But see, that's why I say, people who are into farming, I think they are the real heroes.
Yes,
Because it's very difficult. It's growing 100 plants is difficult. So imagine growing 10,000 plants. It's very difficult job.
absolutely. It is. It is quite tough. And plus, they have other challenges also because we have like a terrace, they have open fields. So it's really
Yeah,
quite
absolutely.
a task. Yeah. So when you started this, the garden, you had neighbors. I guess you live in an independent house, so there were no
Yeah,
uh, house owner association who's coming and telling you
I
that.
live in an individual house.
Yeah. So what about your neighbors? Were they started coming and visiting you, and they were
Oh
like,
yeah, I have plenty of visitors. Every week I have visitors. I've got neighbors. I've got people who have looked onto the internet, do want to come. Those who are walking past by, they want to come and have a look. So I have a lot of visitors. Unfortunately, I can't spend time with everybody, but yeah, we have many people coming and seeing it. So
so?
everybody says, from where you get the time to do all this? I said, time you have to make, as you say, it's responsibility, right? If you're trying to grow something, it's your responsibility. No, you can't give up halfway and say, okay, that's about it.
Yeah.
Right? You can't plant a sapling and say, okay, come up by itself. It won't come.
You have to give time. So then, how many in your locality or neighborhood have actually implemented and replicated
So
this?
there are people who do bits and pieces, somebody will do rainwater harvesting, somebody will do solar, somebody will do garden, somebody will buy electric scooter and say, okay, this is my contribution.
Hmm.
Okay. So I have got maybe about 300, 400 people who have done like everything.
Hmm.
But very few, in terms of actual numbers, who actually get into the depth and nitty-gritties of all the solutions and say, I want to do all this. Though there is a lot of, other thing is also our fault. We are not able to deliver. When people ask me to give a solution, one is I can give knowledge.
Yeah.
But as I previously spoke, people don't appreciate knowledge so much. They may perhaps say, okay, it's good, but who's going to do it? I need some professional help to do it. So that's where we actually struggle because operational difficulties are very high.
Hmm. So are you
Now,
not?
I've got a lot of people showing interest.
Mhm.
A lot of people actually done it also, but all bits and pieces. But hardly anybody would want to venture into gardening.
Hmm.
They're happy with solar. They're happy with remote harvesting. Some people are happy. Okay, I'll do biogas composting, but
Yeah.
nobody really wants to get into gardening stuff.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask about biogas. When did biogas happen? Was it the last addition?
Uh, well, I used to do composting. I used to do a lot of composting.
Uh-huh.
But I actually attended a talk. I forgot. It's some in the India Habitat Center or somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so there was one guy who was telling us so much methane comes out of organic waste. He had actually telling us some numbers. So it was very fascinating actually.
Hmm.
So I don't know much about methane or pressure of gas. Not much, though we have studied, we don't really, I couldn't relate much of it.
Uh-huh.
But I went and then it happened. I had gone to Kerala for something,
Uh-huh.
and I see that almost everybody's having it.
Oh, wow.
So many people are having biogas plants, and I see there is one roadside vendor also.
Hmm.
I said, how it is possible? He said, in Kerala, they don't have a habit of collecting waste from houses.
Hmm.
So we'll have to manage it. So I went to visit one of the houses. It was okay. It was working decently. It was fine,
Hmm.
but there was looking quite clumsy.
Mhm.
So I thought, okay, why not do it? It should work.
Mhm.
Because essentially, anything which decomposes in anaerobic condition
Yeah.
should give you methane.
Yeah.
Volume we don't know, how much we don't know, but let us figure it out.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of literature on the internet. You can go mad by reading it actually. This three has published a wonderful book.
Yeah.
So we could I got a lot of information there.
Mm.
So we could do it, and then I realized, oh, this is not the gas which is important. I'm getting like free fertilizer.
Oh, yeah.
My yield of the garden almost tripled.
Oh, wow.
Because see now what I get is actually liquid fertilizer, right? The uptake of nutrition is very high when it's actually liquid form.
Huh.
So then I said, okay, it's not about the gas. If I don't get also, it's okay. But I have so much fertilizer
Yeah.
and enough and more. In fact, I give people, please come and take.
Okay.
Okay, so and that is the beauty of biogas because there is a lot of slurry which comes out,
Yes.
undigested liquid, which is like very high in NPK.
Yeah.
So now it has many times it has happened that when I go to a function, people say, Sunil has come, he will take the waste, don't worry. So I thoroughly enjoy it. Okay, I pick it up and we get so much. Next 2 days cooking gas is taken care of. A lot of fertilizer comes out, and it is actually a beautiful model by itself. The circularity is very enjoyable.
That's wonderful. That's
And,
wonderful.
and it is extremely simple. When I went into details of it, no, like, I was thinking how to do. Of course, there was some resistance at home, like, why you're doing all this. But once you make a robust solution and actually show it working,
Yeah.
people will love it. Okay. So now we have like, it's so nice to do. Okay. Today morning breakfast is from biogas.
Okay.
Okay. So you're not using LPG. You are actually taking your like waste from the neighborhood stores or from neighbors or friends. Just actively forage. Okay, if you have any waste, please give it to me.
Okay. That's
You
good.
will actually use it, and the more you put, the more fertilizer I get. So now with rooftop garden, I had balcony garden, I had walkway garden. Now I've got planted trees outside the house. So it
Wow.
is like free fertilizer for everything.
Wonderful. So, are you getting all your vegetables and um, whatever you need in the kitchen from your own garden?
Mostly yes, but provided the Mali puts in more time.
Okay.
So sometimes what happens is, I am caught up with a lot of things, and of course, family helps, and we also have some help. But it is we do get maybe about 60% we get. If
Okay.
you actually do it properly, we can get 150%.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
sometimes what happens is we have excess. We have more papaya than what we can consume. We have more star fruit. We
Mm.
have more vegetables, so we end up giving to the neighbors.
Oh, good.
But sometimes we fall short. That's the thing.
That's okay. So, this bio gas thing is really, I think, has worked wonders and changed the equation of everything. And that was on my mind that I want to get a little, balcony biogas system.
So in fact, I keep telling this thing. Last week I was in Coimbatore in some engineering college for some work. I used to tell people, boss, this is a solution that you should work on. Like, this is a very, very simple solution. There is absolutely no brainer. Why it is not taking off? Why there are not many entrepreneurs doing it? Like, we can so easily solve the problem of waste.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of nutrition in return, which can go back to the earth. Like, I was telling, see, the problem is not the market. The problem is the ecosystem that we entrepreneurs here, we're not putting enough effort to actually drive the solution. We are happy to talk about it. We are not actually implementing. That's the whole problem.
So we had couple of weeks ago we had Priyadarshan Sahasrabuddhe, who's the founder of Vayu. That's also biogas. They make biogas in Pune, the machines and setups. So he was also saying the same thing that initially the cost is high, and we need to have many more in numbers for the cost to stabilize and be more
Yes, the
affordable.
economics of scale is very important and very, very important. But there's another very fascinating stuff, right? Like iPhone costs you 1.5 lakh. It is so cool to have one, right? But it's not so cool to have a biogas digester, which costs 50,000. So now the iPhone does absolutely no value to you, right? In fact, it wastes your time. But you are okay to spend 1.5 lakhs because you just feel happy to be owning one. But 50, 60,000 rupees biogas digester, you think twice because you think it's expensive. It is expensive, no doubt, but it is not so cool to have one. Right now, that's where the market or the marketing should come into picture. We should market it like an iPhone. We
Hmm.
should say, okay, it's a cool gadget to have.
It's a cool thing to have, exactly.
Yeah, but why do you think only an iPhone is a cool thing to have? Why not a biogas digester? Like, that is where the entire market ecosystem, like, I tell the MBA guys, you should market this. Like, your marketing genius can come only here. If
Yeah.
you are increasing your sales by 10% of an iPhone, anyone can do it, right? You don't need an MBA graduate to do it.
Bilkul.
But if you can pick up this from zero and make it 100, then I'll appreciate your talent in marketing. Now, this is where this is what I tell many people who say, okay, why it is not taking off? Because it's a dirty thing. It's not cool to have, right? So I was talking to one person here. Let me not take the name, a big guy.
Mm.
So I was telling him, sir, you have water problem in your farm. Why don't you just use wastewater and reuse it? Saying, I go flowers for my worship. How can I use wastewater for growing? These kind of arguments come.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
now biogas technically human shit can be converted into cooking gas.
Yes.
Okay, but see now it is it's very repulsive idea.
Yes.
But how do we make an idea more accommodating, more accepting, and perhaps more cooler? Okay, that's where that's where we have to work. That's what is my opinion.
Absolutely. And that's what, when I asked Priyadarshan, and I was asking about the pet poop, because, people walk their dogs on the streets, and there's, complaints that, oh, don't do this, and pick it up. And Indians don't have that habit, which is mandated otherwise in other countries, that you must pick up after they poop. So I asked him, so what, pet poop also goes in your biogas thing? He said yes, of course. So, like, I am looking at it that as a solution, that if a society has a biogas system, then they don't have to worry about that poop lying here and there. Even that can go. But of course, like you rightly said, that cooking gas, pure pious khana jata hai, anna devta, and then the stool going in, and of course all those concepts have to be cleared, all those myths have to be kind of shattered. You have been, this is like a, I would say, the ideal pilot of decentralization solutions at one home, जहाँ पे everybody can go and see what's happening, how is it happening. And many people who've joined today are from various cities in India, and they would like to, uh, many of them would like to adopt this and implement that. What would you tell them? How much time will it take? How much research, or how much money investment, all of that? Would you be able to give them some
See,
guidance?
solar is very subjective.
Yeah.
There is no like it costs you X amount of money. Solar depends on like their connected load, what
Yeah.
they want to run there, if they want to store power or no, or if they want to do anything else. Solar is very subjective. You can do it at 3 lakhs, you can do it at 25 lakhs also.
Yeah.
Okay, so it depends on how much energy,
Hmm.
like which car you want to buy. You can buy a Jaguar, you can buy a Maruti. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay. But the other stuff, they're not very expensive. Rainwater harvesting, even for a very big house, would not cost you more than lakh and a half.
Mm-hmm.
On a very, very big house, I'm talking. A small scale house, like the house which I'm there, it's about 30,000-40,000 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, and biogas, maybe, it's actually, if you want to do it yourself, it doesn't cost you anything. All you require is a drum. You can take like any scrap drum and do it yourself if
Okay.
you have got that bent of mind. Otherwise, the Syntex actually is offering off the counter biogas digesters for about 50,000 rupees or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So it doesn't cost you much depending on how much load is there. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if you have a cattle shed, you have more load, so you can generate more gas. So it costs you lakh and a half, 2 lakhs, something. If it's a regular household with 3-4 people, you can have a small scale digester. It shouldn't cost you more than 50,000 rupees or something like that. It depends. Like if you want to add more value adds like a scrubber or something like that. If you want to make it more detail oriented or you want to make it more robust, you have to like perhaps spend a little more money. But generally, I tell people like if you combine all these solutions together,
Mm-hmm.
solar, rainwater, biogas, composting, rooftop garden, everything put together for a new house, it
Mm.
should not cost you more than about 12-13 lakh rupees.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're building a house with 2 crores, you can say
Mm-hmm.
about 5% of your budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For that, you can be like lifetime independent of water, lifetime independent of energy, lifetime independent of, not lifetime independent, but about 50% independent of cooking gas,
Mm-hmm.
your own vegetables, your own this thing. But this is I'm talking about a higher end, like you make it like use the iPhone level of
Yeah.
sustainable solutions. You can scale it up, you can scale it down, how much ever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. But the other problems, like how the other gentleman was telling, it's also economics of scale.
Yeah.
We just don't have enough number of people doing this.
Yes.
That I see, I get a lot of queries from Nasik and Pune and Aurangabad. I said, sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah,
And there was one lady who called and said, I can pay you whatever it takes. It's not about paying, like, the entire sustainability of the solution is actually is failed if I travel all the way from Bangalore to Aurangabad to do the solution for you.
absolutely.
Okay, so we actually need more entrepreneurs, more people who are actually implementing.
Yeah.
And it's lucrative also. That's why I tell people, like, it's not something like, it's not a lucrative business. It's a very lucrative business as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So we have to have entrepreneurs coming onto the ground, implementing solutions. Unfortunately, what is happening is people want to become like advisors, consultants, monitoring agencies, etc. But really, nobody wants to implement. And it's very nice to write failure reports, and they get very very heavily paid for writing failure report. But why things don't work on the ground is something for us to introspect.
That's
And
right.
I put the blame straightly on the market and the entrepreneurs, saying that we just don't have people to actually implement it. And it is extremely simple. The whole problem is, since it is simple, we are not getting people to do it. We have people who can code and write algorithms and do all sorts of sophisticated things. But if you ask them to lay a pipeline straight, that's where the problem starts then.
True, true, true. So we need to market it correctly. We need to make it cool. We need to make it a simple, affordable, accessible solution. And that's when I think 60% of the garbage it is wet waste, and that can be taken care by the biogas digester. And of course,
If
organic.
people find it difficult, they can start composting. Composting is even simpler. And
Yeah.
it doesn't cost anything at all, hardly 3,000-4,000 rupees.
So, composting itself, we have so many complaints when we go and talk about composting, and there have been arguments, fights, and lots of other things that it stinks. We cannot do it. It's so unhygienic. We cannot do it. We don't want it. So that's the starting point.
And
And
that's the thing. We will have to somehow make it cooler. If you put all your trash together, wet waste, dry waste, plastic, glass, napkins, everything in a centralized place and pollute, and somebody else's water getting polluted, you're okay with that. But you don't want to do it in your house. It's kind of hypocrisy, in my opinion.
yes, it is, and that's
And
what is happening.
sorry, I may be slightly more blatant here, but the issue is also now, like, what is your point of an engineering MSc PhD degree if you cannot solve a simple composting, stinking problem, right? 500 grams of wet waste a day, if you cannot make it compost without stinking, I don't think this you're worth the BSc, MSc, PhD that you've done.
I to
Right? I'm not talking about any one institution, I'm talking about education in general.
Yes, exactly, and that is
What's the point? Like, can't you, 200 grams of wet waste, can't it be composted without giving you foul smell in your house? What is the purpose of learning chemistry in your 10th standard?
Mhm. We compost at home. We have all those lined up buckets and boxes, and it
See, the
doesn't smell.
problem is everybody knows the solution. The thing
So,
is,
yeah,
I don't want to put an effort. Like, I want to put cocoa peat, I want to put something else. I don't want to do all that, right? I want a straightforward solution.
ready made. Yeah, yeah.
That cannot come so easily.
So, if there was a Swiggy and Zepto or something like that for collecting their wet waste, they would, I think, even do that. Ki, okay, take it away. I
Yeah,
don't.
I will pay. It doesn't matter 100 rupees, 400 rupees, because
Yeah.
I will pay and get it collected. People will be happy to do it, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. That I think that is the next thing we should be working on.
But see, we need to get fancier, cooler solutions in the market, and we should actually make it an enjoyable experience for people to do it.
Yeah.
Currently, what is happening is a lot of narratives, a lot of literature, and a lot of demonstrations are about, oh, it is, see, somebody else is having some problem. You are polluting. You are trying to, like, oh, okay, it's good to do. No, but nobody say, okay, it's so nice to do. Okay, you feel that there is no that wow factor of doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So provided we can get that into the narrative, I think the uptake will be better.
We need to. We need to. And right now, there are so many people who've joined who all compost, who all make bioenzymes, and they all are kind of constantly working on how to improve this narrative, improve this kind of um, the discussions to make this a common practice by everybody. I'm sure we'll all come up with something good. Um, the one question that I would like to show the video also, and I have actually shared the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to watch this video, you can go. It's an Instagram video where Better India had visited Sunil's house, and they've shown everything. So you can click on that link and watch that video. But Sunil, your profession and your pilot, are these two separate things, or they are
No.
the same?
I do all this as a pure business. I implement all these solutions on a very commercial model.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I call it a sustenance roof, and I've got many projects where I've done all the solutions together.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, so and that's what I'm saying. This can't be a fancy idea. It has to be a commercial idea.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we can't tell people, oh, it is so nice to do. We can't romanticize an idea. We have to give them a robust solution.
That's
Otherwise, it won't pick up. It's so difficult. Why solar has started picking up? Because we have many people entering the market. They're really great institutions. They're really great people who have got into the actual field of working, making a solution very nice, very affordable, and very robust.
yeah.
And we have to have those kind of solutions. Like I wonder, like, how it is not possible to treat wastewater. Like, so many engineers come out every year, but still we don't have a solution. It's sometimes beats me,
We have.
right? So you have to have technical expertise on the ground and actually coming up with a solution, offering it as a solution,
Yeah.
right? Unless the end user needs to have a solution, like how you sell a washing machine or how you sell a phone.
Yeah.
You have to sell a wastewater solution like that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, there will no uptake.
absolutely.
And you have to say, okay, what you are trying to do is better than putting your shit into the sewage line outside.
Yeah.
Right? You can use it yourself without any inconvenience to you. That should be the commercial model.
There's a lot of education that has to go because that mindset is of convenience, that okay, you just remove it from here, not in my backyard, not in my front yard, nowhere close to me, just take it away. So I don't mind dumping it in the river or the lake, which is the center of attraction in my city. And then we have water hyacinth growing because of that wastewater, and the all of that. So we don't mind that. Then we spend crores of rupees every year to remove the water hyacinth, and then it again happens. So we don't mind that cycle, but we don't believe in the um, implementations or the solutions that will be solving it from the root. Of course, there are a lot of people involved, so we know why such things happen. Um, the other question is, you also provide this as a solution for like societies, offices, and other places. Do you think this is a great idea for schools and colleges, kind of a mandate to have it on their terrace and in their premises?
I think Singapore must be having some kind of a mandate. But see, mandate, any change driving out of mandate, I am skeptical about.
Okay.
Okay, see, it should be market driven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it should add value to you
Mm-hmm.
in every aspect.
Mm-hmm.
For example, people who start by being skeptical about the rooftop garden, after 4 or 5 years, they are absolutely in love with it
Yeah.
because there's an attachment towards it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so make it mandate. I think it will lose the. So you can't do mandatory stuff like you have to have a way in which the market. See, no, see, does the government tell you have to use iPhone only? No, no, right? So the government doesn't say you should use Bosch washing machine
Yeah.
or you should use washing machine.
Mm.
So the market has made it convenient for the end user.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a value add also. Like we buy some curtain or we buy some fancy stuff for the house, which is not giving you convenience,
Mm-hmm.
but it is giving you some happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So all these solutions have to be like that.
So how should we make it? Like, let's say we have 10, 20 big, huge schools and big, huge colleges, universities, those kind of things.
So see, why are institutions now taking up solar? Because it is becoming lucrative for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, nobody has made it mandatory, right? Like, every institution is going for solar.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is quite simple. It has become affordable, one. It
Mm-hmm.
has become convenient, two, and it has become very robust. Like, it's no longer something dangling here and there. It's
Mm-hmm.
a very neat, clean, aesthetic solution.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big uptake. So every institution is going for solar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, rainwater harvesting, there is a lot of demand from institutions because there's a water scarcity.
Yeah.
Okay. So the market has to drive and give a solution. Now, the problem is we don't have enough people who can give you and guarantee you a solution.
Mm-hmm.
See, we have people like people can talk. Okay, it's good to do this. There's a lot of literature can be produced, a lot of reports can be produced, but who can implement and give you guarantee for its working?
Mm-hmm.
I still find this as to be a
Gap.
big hole in the market,
Mm-hmm.
particularly when it comes to nature-based solutions.
Yeah.
Like, talk about bioenzyme or biogas or wastewater treatment
Yeah.
and rooftop gardens or azola or phytoremediation. All sorts of technologies have got good, solid knowledge backing, but
Mm-hmm.
very poor implementation on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why does anybody give you a guarantee on it's working? I think there are hardly any institutions who are doing that. There are knowledge institutions, there are policy making institutions, there are institutions who are actually giving you very, very sound and very what do you say, very workable solutions. But
Mm-hmm.
last guy, nut and bolt guy is missing.
Mm.
Okay, so the what how it is happening like a movement in solar should happen in other nature-based solutions.
Mm.
One can think of making it as mandatory, but when you make it mandatory, you are actually opening up another box.
Yeah.
Okay, so now there are more inspectors coming and seeing, there are more people, there's more coordination, more faces you have to face, there's more trouble for you and more trouble for everyone actually for the matter. And how do you measure? For example, Bangalore has mandatory rainwater harvesting,
Yeah.
but the definition is so loose. And who is certifying this rainwater harvesting or no?
Yeah. And
Okay, so that is where the problem.
that is what is the challenge, because there are so many rainwater harvesting solutions that people don't know which one is right for them, which one should they implement. So they go according to the many likes they see on a reel or the videos been shared. So they are like, oh, so this must be a good one because many people have liked it. um, but that's not the way to kind of shortlist. So what would your the nuggets of wisdom would be, how to shortlist what can work best for you?
That's what's the use case, as simple as that. That's why I'm saying you make a template.
Mm-hmm.
Why I do it in my house is because I am showing it live every day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not a animated model. It is not done elsewhere, or it is not working only today because you have come.
Yeah.
It's working every day.
Great.
So you live. So you make these templates and make it like many.
Mm-hmm.
It is simple. I am saying it should be what is simple can only work. If it is complicated, if it is too much of algorithms, the
Yeah.
chances of failure is higher.
Mm-hmm.
Make it simple, simplicity, sustainability. Right? So you have to have use cases, you have to have demonstrated models, and it should be open for experience. Like, when some government agencies ask me, I said, you have an experience center.
Yeah.
Like Samsung Experience Center, why not Rainwater Harvesting Experience Center? Why not a Waste Experience Center?
Anujaji, just 1 minute.
Yeah. Who's
Anujaji, 1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Can I speak?
Yes.
Okay, this is Ajit Sheshadri here.
Yeah.
Can I
Hi.
speak?
Yes. You have a
Okay,
question. You have a question.
uh, not question, just to tell all the viewers about the feelings what Sunil is trying to give out to all the participants. How simple and easy it is. It is just like cooking food. Say first day when you make chapatis. It won't come round, it won't come in layer and after all those things.
Mm-hmm.
But after you make, say, 10 of them, 20 of them, 30 of them, 50 of them, 100 of them, then you become perfect, and then nothing can stop you. It
Uh-huh.
is just like that. So initially, you might falter on composting a little bit, but there's nothing like a stereotyped principle. You just play along and you go along and you enjoy, keep doing it, and you'll really work out very well. Water harvesting, rainwater harvesting, biocomposting, growing plants in the house, and solar. These are simple things, very very simple things which can be done very nicely. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to tell the participants, feel confident about it, and just let it happen in the house, and you just keep enjoying.
Thank
Just like growing your own food at home.
you.
All
Yes.
the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
That
you, sir.
that is true because we have a little garden and we have grown. We have all these sugar cane and a lot of papaya. All these things keep growing. Sometimes the greens go very beautifully, and sometimes there are no tomatoes. They just don't grow for some reason. So it's like you never know why, but you have experienced it 3 4 times and you've grown amazing tomatoes, but you don't know why is it not growing this time. So there must be something which is missing. So of course gardening is a different game altogether. But rest of the things, like you said, that you need to have, uh, I'm sure they have to do some kind of a assessment that okay, this much is my requirement. This is all those things must be available, and any solar consultant or any rainwater harvesting consultant will give them a questionnaire for asking what is the square feet of your the terrace where you want to put in, like all of that. All those questions need to be answered, and then that's the first draft that you'll get, right?
Correct, correct.
For the assessment of,
I think Sunil can take over. Bioenzyme is another good thing which every participant can do. Very
yes,
very simple at home. And
yes,
bioenzyme wash water can directly go to the plants. There is absolutely no problem. And Sunil will be able to say better on these things.
yes. Sunil, so what is that first assessment that people can go to, or how do they?
Actually, I have a lot of people who come and actually talk to me. I say
Huh?
you always start simple.
Okay.
Like, see, you can look at two angles.
Uh-huh.
One angle is like how it should become a movement and take it forward and it should expand.
Uh-huh.
That is one paradigm in which you can look at. The other paradigm is like an individual.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell them like, somebody came, oh, I'll put 10,000 plants on my roof. Doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, start small, start simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, think of what you can do. If you're doing it all by yourself,
Yeah.
like if you want to do rainwater harvesting, there are people experts who can come and do. Solar, there are experts who can come and do. Biogas, there are experts who can come and do. Less in numbers, but it is still possible. But if you want to grow plants, like I would say start small. Start with 5 plants, 10 plants. Start flowering plants.
Yeah.
Okay. Then go very small, go with greens. Then start growing like vegetables, and then you can go next step, exotic varieties like cauliflower or star fruits and things like that. But when you start, you have to start small. This is from an individual perspective.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at creating a movement and a paradigm by itself, then you can perhaps think of having an institutional mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've got a couple of places where there are of course there are now companies which are actually giving you the solutions,
Mm.
but there are also institutions which are having dedicated staff for this.
Okay.
Okay, so they look after all the critical infrastructure and they treat rainwater or garden as a critical infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
For example, engineering college.
Yeah.
They say, okay, like how we have our water supply lines, we also think of rainwater supply lines. We
Okay.
also think of the roof or the garden on the roof as a critical infrastructure.
Wonderful.
That's how. But see, this one video or one person doing it is nothing, of absolutely no value. But somehow, what I'm trying to actually tell is this is a simple thing to do. You
Yes.
don't need anything very sophisticated. Like, what it takes to put a areca palm plant in your house. It doesn't take any effort. It doesn't take any maintenance. Hardly 200 rupees.
Mhm.
Like if you want to buy from the nursery, if you want to like grow from a seed, even not even that much.
Yeah,
So you can start somewhere, right? Like you instead of just talking, reading, and sharing videos, it doesn't take any effort to put a areca palm plant. It doesn't take any effort to put a geranium plant. It doesn't cost anything to put a money plant in your house. These are all
of
very
course.
simple things that one can do. Then you can rainwater, you can do white painting, you can do all those things you can do. But there has to be a start from somewhere.
Absolutely.
And things, what I'm trying to actually tell by all these templates and everything is things are simple. It is not as complicated. This sustainability, climate change need not be romanticized as we are doing it now.
Yeah.
My strong feeling is it is getting more activism than action.
It
Okay, so we have had people wearing three-piece suits running around the world saying that the climate is changing. What's the point?
no.
Okay, like my strong feeling is there's a lot of advocacy, very little action.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And the front page news about problems. What's the use? Where's the solution? If there's a solution, why it is not implemented? There's some introspection is required, right?
Yes. Absolutely. We need to have solutions right next to the problems, and that's why I really appreciate that you are emphasizing one simple thing again and again, that it is very simple, it is doable by everybody. They should just take the first step. No need to dream big, like have a big, okay, I'm going to do this, like big mega level thing. Start from a little thing, and then you can expand, or um, go have multi layers and all that stuff. But yes, it is very simple, and knowledge and technology is very accessible. It's everywhere, every nook and corner. So they can figure out what they want, but they should start something.
We should start. The whole thing is we should start, and it can be an enjoyable experience.
Yes.
One needs to just do it. That's all, right? From an individual level, but it can also be a movement by itself. Like this can be like how I'm talking sustainability, like how it's like any other solution, like how you buy your phone and fridge in your house. You have to buy your wastewater solution, rainwater solution, or biogas. This can be critical infrastructure, like one the need of the hour kind of a thing.
Part of the planning, yes, it is. So we today we haven't had questions from our participants. Usually we always have, like, they asking questions. If you have time, I know we've
Yeah,
already
as it was too boring, so there was no
no,
question.
no, no. They were so engrossed in listening to you. But if any of you have questions, please do ask. We've already overshot like 5 minutes. If you have, do you have like 5-10 minutes extra?
No,
So,
I have no problem. You can go.
okay. So, you're all most welcome to unmute yourself, put on your video, and ask any questions you have. Yes, please go
So,
ahead.
yeah, hi. Uh, so I just want to know what is the best practice we can suggest for when there is so much of biomass produced in gardens and big, if you have like somebody had was talking about in Victoria Memorial, they have a large garden in Calcutta. So there were, various suggestions were given how to handle the biomass. So what is the best suggestion you can think about in such large scale? There are so many practices, but what is the most economical and the best way and the quickest?
I came across this wonderful guy in Kerala. He was
Uh,
just letting it be there. That's all.
yeah, I know, but then when you have it's a public place and when you have people visiting, you don't want just the leaves and everything to be there. So then,
Not on the pathway, but if it is on the soil, that itself can act as a mulch.
yeah, I know that's
So the leaving it just there is perhaps the best solution without being very visually, disturbing. The
yeah.
second thing is like there are a lot of mesh composters available.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, where you let the biomass degrade in a very denser environment.
Yeah.
Okay, that's implemented across a lot of parks in Bangalore. I've seen it almost everywhere here.
Mhm.
And because they can't burn it anymore, it's illegal. So there are mesh composters. There are huge mesh composters put up like every half a kilometer. and it gets decomposed there. It turns into vermicompost
Mm.
and goes back into the garden. But I would still say the best way to just leave it there. Don't do anything. The rains will take care of it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Avni, do you have any question? Monica, Fauzia?
I do have a question actually.
Yes.
I missed the initial part where you were talking about this garden on your terrace. So like in what do you grow the plants? Like is it grow bags or like what would you
I
suggest
have a
to for a
combination.
beginner?
I have large drums for the trees where I grow jamun and I grow sapota, I grow star fruit, and I grow custard apple.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes in the large containers, that blue scrap drums.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I use. And I have actually fabricated. I do solar as a business. So I have a lot of scrap metal coming out of my sites.
Mm-hmm.
So we have actually converted some of the sheet metals into actually growing troughs, which we have installed below the panels.
Mm-hmm.
And we make some holes there. Actually, it looks very neat. It is not as rudely engineered as what I'm trying to tell. But we have metal containers which we have fabricated, and they are through and through.
Mm-hmm.
So we put soil there and actually grow in them. And we have, of course, off-the-counter plastic pots where we are growing all the flowering plants.
Good, good.
Okay. Why I'm asking this because in my kids' school today they had this discussion where they are going to start growing plants, different varieties, and they were talking about grow bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I just asked simply, okay, is that going to be plastic grow bags? Because I'm not very sure about those grow bags, which
Yeah,
like you
the
come.
grow bags are, I think, some kind of a polymer. They are not
Yes.
they are not plastic, but they are these tensile materials. But yeah, a lot of people are actually using it.
Yeah.
But you
But they're
also
not
get
sustainable. Like they don't stay for long, right? Like unlike
it'll
if you
turn
use a
off.
paint bucket or those drums that you're talking about,
Yeah, actually,
they don't
paint
stay
buckets
for
can
long.
last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I was talking to them that why not choose some different alternatives? And so I teach waste management to the kids, and I'm like recently talking about plastic and all this, and so they were that the guy was like he is into talking about EVS and all those stuffs. So he was saying, don't make plastic the villain, don't teach kids that plastic is not good and all those sorts of things. So I was like, okay, we need to discuss this in detail. Like what kind of plastic we are using, that is also important, right?
Yes.
You have also this jute bag and other grow bags also,
So
but
I talked about alternatives. Like, so he's like, alternatives are costly, they are not like all those reasons he started giving. But I'm like, okay, we can discuss about this. It's not that I am against plastic, but I don't want to use those plastic grow bags because I know they're not sustainable.
Yeah.
They won't last long.
clay and mud pots are good, but the problem with rooftops are that it's heavy.
Yeah.
One, you need to carry it. Suppose if you're on third floor, you need to carry those cement pots or clay pots. Second thing is, if it falls down, it can be quite bad.
Great, yeah.
So there's some safety angle to that.
Mm-hmm.
But other thing is, like, if it's a primary school kid, if you are saying put plants in a grow bag vis-a-vis put plants in a used paint bucket, which sounds fancier. Right?
Yeah, and they
Because
would be
school
happy to
textbooks have
paint
to
those
write.
buckets. Would be happy to paint those buckets from outside, right?
Yeah. See, but if you have to write a one-liner in your textbook, how would you write is the question.
So
So
I use the reuse the paint buckets which I buy for $50. I get, they cost 50 rupees to
so
80
we have to
rupees.
somehow make the narrative more appealing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And they also have a new material which I don't agree with. That's called
Textile.
geo textile or geo thing. I am 100% sure that's just another greenwashing, polluting thing. So I'm not. I don't even suggest. So of course, Avni, we'll talk about this and have more solutions to the
Yes,
school
sure.
garden. Fauziya, you want to say something?
Whenever I listen to Sunil, I'm always in awe of all the great things he does. And, he keeps adding new things. I just keep admiring them on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on WhatsApp, wherever he posts them. And such an inspiration. I wish I can do at least 25% of what Sunil you are doing. Probably we'll start making changes. But that said, I think it's brilliant. Anuja, thank you. I think you have been doing such amazing work. I know I'm not able to join most conversations. And probably this is, Sunil, let me tell you that this is the first one that I'm joining in Anuja's session.
Oh,
So
wow.
that speaks volumes about what you're doing. We need to definitely scale this up. We may, as Sunil was saying, we need to make it cool. We need to make it simple. It is simple, actually. We shouldn't even be talking about and perhaps we make perhaps a way of living or a life part of a lifestyle, and that's the way we can really scale this up. But if we one thing is for sure, that if we don't do it, probably there are difficult times ahead. But many thanks. I really have nothing to ask at this point in time. More than that, I would say I have more to learn at this point in time. Many thanks Anuja, thank you Sunil.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Seriously.
He's been doing great thing. When I watched that video, I was like, I must contact him immediately. And I was like, one day I want to invite you. And thank you, Fauziya. Today is 101st episode, so there is a first for something. Thank you for joining. It's wonderful. Yes, Smita, Sushma, Anil ji, Monica, do you have any questions? Uh, then please go ahead and unmute and ask. I am.
Hi.
Hi, Monica.
Oh, yeah, hi. It was nice listening to you, Sunil ji. And Anuja ji, always thank you for bringing in so inspiring people for awareing all of us. It's I have a little this thing. You are doing this bio with fuel and hoops and all, which can be processed in that. So, of course, there are people who would not suggest that no, we will not be doing it. But one more this thing in rainwater harvesting, I would just like to ask, like we are living in a flat, okay, and there are around say around 240 flats, okay, and in uh, 8 blocks, okay. So how can we start rainwater harvesting in our society?
See, retrofits are always a little challenging when it's in built environment. If you have to do, it's a little challenging. So generally, how we do is we do a very detailed survey of the site. So we look at where the water is actually running off, and if we can tap it and use the existing infrastructure to actually filter and store it. That is, we give maximum weightage there, because in any group housing kind of scenario, your consumption is very high. Your instantaneous consumption is very, very high compared to instantaneous consumption. So most of the water can be easily reused. About 4 in 10 cases, these things can work, because there will be slope and other things possible where the water can flow by gravity. If it can be done, most contractors will be able to do it. But if it cannot be done, you may have to perhaps look at how to actually change the levels of the pipe and get it to a storage structure. Or if you're happy to be actually charging into the ground and maybe taking the benefit after some time, or letting somebody else take the benefit, you can always put it into the ground. Okay, depending on the geology, if you are in the lateritic belt, you can do open wells and put the water down there. But if you are in like kind of sandy soil or clay soil, or you are in the kind of a stone area, you can actually use the existing borewell or the defunct borewells to actually recharge the ground. But having said that, there is no guarantee that the moment you put the water into the ground, you're going to get it back. I cannot give you any guarantee. But that is one of the solutions that one can easily think of. But in group housing, we actually try to see if something can be stored and reused. Excess can be recharged. But it all depends on the existing infrastructure.
Yeah. because it's a old societies. That's what they keep on saying, and the pipes and all it goes, and I think underneath everything gets mixed up,
This
probably.
other problem in group housing, I have come across this situation many times because nobody maintains it. It's some RWS who take care of it. They keep changing it.
Yeah.
So maintenance, see, any of the things what we're talking about, there is some maintenance in all these things. So in group housing, generally maintenance takes a back seat.
Yeah.
So the service provider has to be very, very cautious about things getting badly maintained. And the solutions must be actually centered around it.
True. That's true.
Yeah. And okay, let's see. Let's keep our fingers crossed and make them at least understand to start doing something and see what happens.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Welcome. Yes. So I thought that we had a question from Anil, but for some reason he's not able to join now. So I learned a lot. Sunil, thank you so much. I really like these kind of comprehensive and decentralized solutions because you can see, you can feel, and you can see the impact. We don't have to have reports and then figure out the data to see the impact. You can see it right in front of your eyes. So, like you said, the plants were growing like threefold. It was so lucrative, it was so attractive. Wow, I must get a biogas stuff for my balcony. So, I am going to do that. And I think next time when I talk to you, I can share my success with the biogas in my garden. Great, great. If anyone has anything else to share, Sunil, would you like to share anything before we say bye?
I think you gave me 1 hour to share whatever I wanted to share. I hope it was useful.
Yeah.
That's all.
So we have learned a lot, and of course, it's not something that is an individual's decision because people live in societies, people live in families where everyone may not be supportive, and they might think, oh, this is too expensive. Do it next time. All of that can happen, but I'm sure there can be some place where they can start with a
See,
simple.
it's all about narrative. It's all about how we market it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like, see, a fancy dinner can cost a family $10,000 these days, right? So it's not, I really don't think it's about the money. The solutions are not, at least if you're looking at an urban kind of a living,
Yeah.
it's just, it's look at iPhone, like, what adds no value at all. But still you pay 1.5 lakh rupees for that, right? Any other phone will do the same job for you. Just the experience of having it, just the user experience and, the robustness of a solution is what is required. And it's the same thing, if you're selling a solution, you want to sell like that.
Mm.
Right? There's two ways of looking at it. But whether I am promoting a solution, I'm selling a solution, right? If I'm selling a solution, I need to sell like a businessman. Like, it has to be a robust solution. If I'm promoting, I can be an academician. I can say it's good to do biogas.
Mm.
But he would not give you a guarantee that the biogas thing will not smell.
I guess
Okay, so
most of us are promoting. I I guess that's what is happening. Most of us are promoting solutions, and that has to change, and it has to become as in your
no, we need activism, we need promotion, we need academics.
yeah.
But they are having good number of good guys there.
Yes.
Okay, so but what we are not having is the guys on the ground who are equally good, who are implementing the solution. Like
Implementation.
we need a guy who is innovated. We need a guy who has done the engineering behind it, who has done the R&D, who has come up with the solution. He's
Yeah.
as important as anyone else.
Yeah.
But there are good number of people doing it. There are a lot number of people who are actually doing activism and advocacy.
Yeah.
Well, very good, like top talent is going there. But the talent when it comes to implementing on the ground is somewhere in my feelings it is missing.
Absolutely. 100% agreed. And I never thought of it like this, but you have really put it very straightforward that where what is missing and why is it not getting promoted the way it should be. So we will talk to college students and get them to start focusing on making these kind of things their projects instead of going and randomly doing something else, rainwater harvesting and biogas. Yes, we will do that, and I'm sure there's so much more that we can do. Thank you so much, Sunil, for sharing
Thank you so
all
much.
your thoughts and knowledge and expertise with us. When we make this YouTube video, I will be sharing with all of you, and you can share with others who have missed out joining today. And it was lovely talking to you and learning from you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
And
much.
thank you everyone
Good
for
night.
joining.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good
Take
night.
care. Good night.
Thank
Good night.
you. Good night.
Bye. Good night.